Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be going through some texture packs for Minecraft. As you may have noticed, there's one on here right now, which is quite a subtle one, but I did try to find 5 very different aesthetics, so you might be able to find at least one that you like or that you'd consider playing with. And I did actually start filming and making this video when the update for 1.16 hadn't been released yet, but a lot of these, although a couple of them are still 1.50 and they haven't been updated yet, most of them have, so that shouldn't be a problem anyway. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I saved my favourite till last, so look out for that one. Okay, so up first, as you can see, it's got the name underneath the main logo. We've got Clarity. So this one has over 1 million downloads, and this was one of the ones that has been updated to 1.16, and it was actually done right at the beginning of the month, so quite recently. So one of the first things I wanted to do while exploring these texture packs was to find a village, because I knew there would be those structures where you can tell the different kinds of textures on the blocks, specifically like the wood and the stone and things like that. So here's just like an overview. You can see the logs are quite different around the farm, and the normal sort of planks, the doors, and I quite like the texture of the beds. The villagers look slightly strange to me. I think it's just like the more realistic texture of them, but they're not too different otherwise. Iron golems are the same, and I think most of the animals are the same, just a little bit more detailed, like you can see from the chicken there. And I think there's some more variations in colours for the chickens and the donkeys. The sheep have different faces, which I'm not too sure about, to be honest. They look okay. They're not the worst sheep faces I've seen of Minecraft texture packs, but yeah, here I am as well in the church. The ladders are very different, and I really like the torches in this pack. They're quite realistic looking as well. Overall, this is still very vanilla-esque, like you can still tell it's Minecraft, it's not any other game, but yeah, just more realistic touches like the round logs. So here I am just going around and kind of showing you a bit more of the blocks from the interiors of the houses, and the melons and the wheat and things like that. I think they look really cool as well, again from the sort of realism aspect of it. But yeah, it's not too much. Here you can kind of just see the chest and inventory look and what it would look like when you open your crafting table. It's not too different, it's very slightly different, but yeah, nothing too drastic. And again, just some more interiors, and you can see how the sand and things look, and the villagers' faces. So like I said, they're not too different, but you can tell that they've been changed. So here's kind of an overview of one of the villagers. Again, when you're sort of not too close, you can't see that it's really different. You can kind of just tell from the tones and the colours that there is a texture pack on there. I really like the subtle changes of the animal textures as well. I think that like the different coloured chicken, that should be like a default in Minecraft. I don't know why there isn't different colours. The pigs, again, like the sheep, I'm not too sure about them, because like you might have seen, they kind of look like they've got human faces. That sounds really strange, but yeah, they kind of look like a pig with a human face, so I'm really not too sure about that. The cows though, I think they look great. I really like them. And the llamas, I don't think they're actually different at all. So some animals seem to have different textures, but not all of them. The things like coal and iron, they don't look too different. You can tell that it's different from vanilla, but you can still tell what the actual ore is, and that's something that I really like about this pack. I also tried to find a pit of lava for every texture pack, just so you can see how the flames and the fire is different, and the mobs as well. So next up we have Bare Bones. This has 167,000 downloads, and this has also been updated to 1.16. And as you can see here, the kind of concept of this is that everything is stripped down. So the animals do have a little bit of their normal texture, but the grass and the blocks and the water and everything like that, that is kind of very, very basic. Like there's not that much texture on them at all. You can still kind of tell the different blocks, like you can see here. You can still tell what's coal, what's stone and diorite, but yeah, it's just really stripped down. I really like the concept of this more than I like the actual texture pack. I think it's a really good idea, and I think there are similar ones to this if you kind of like this idea but not this texture pack, then there are others that are a similar kind of thing. Here I'm in a village just so you can see the difference in the more sort of building materials, like the wooden planks and cobblestone. Yeah, just very, very basic. The chest inventories and things like that, they look almost identical. I don't think they've been changed at all, and like the interface still seems the same. I think with this texture pack, the most out of any of them, you can see how the villagers and the animals and the mobs, they are normal vanilla and they don't seem to have been altered at all, like I say. But the fact that everything else has, I'm not sure if that's good or if that's a bad thing. You can kind of make up your own mind about that. But again, I'm in a cave here just so you can see the difference between the natural blocks and the ores. So again, you can tell which ore is which is really good. But next up we have Anastas, I think that's how you pronounce it. This has over 500,000 downloads, so this is very popular, and it's also been updated to 1.16 snapshot earlier in the year. This, I believe, is supposed to be based around Pokemon. I think I'm correct in saying that. That's what I've heard anyway, and you can kind of tell that, you'll see. So the mobs, the non-hostile mobs like the animals, their textures are very different, and I do quite like them. They're quite unique, they're a little bit unusual, like they've got different faces. It's not just the physical texture of their skin and their coats and their fur. And then you can see here the interior, the interface, as you kind of call it, like this, what you see, it's very different. Again, it's something I'm not too sure I like. The villagers. This is one of the things with this texture pack that I'm not sure I can get on with. So some things I love, like I love the general aesthetic of it, like you can see the flowers and the grass, but the villagers and some of the faces of the mobs, I don't know if I could play with it. But I do really like this one overall. Like you can see the lanterns instead of torches, that's a really nice touch. But another issue that I had with this was that some of the blocks you can't tell what is what. I mined some gravel thinking it was stone, I think. I can't even remember now. I guess if you play with it more, you'll obviously get used to what's what. One of my favourite parts of this pack is the turtles. Look at their faces. That has got to be one of the cutest things I've ever seen. The pigs, I think they're really nice having them a different colour. It would be nice if there was maybe pink and brown, like I know you can get mods. I was going to say mobs. The iron golems scare me. So just looking around the village, you can see the different blocks that there is used for building, like the logs and the brick and things like that. I do really like the look of that. So I tried to find all the mobs as well. As you can see from that spider, it's a bit more realistic. The skeletons, they are weird looking as well, I think. They scare me a little bit too. The zombies look amazing. The endermen are actually quite cute. And the creeper has a little bow tie. I actually really like the hostile mobs in this pack. One of the big differences in this pack is that the birch trees are all pink, and I really like that as well. Another big colour change is that the squids are sort of a pinky purple colour. I think they look really nice like that. And again, just showing the other mobs like the cows, chickens. The flowers, the flowery vines, I love. And the bees, again, I like the turtles. They're just so adorable. And look at all these flowers. Okay, so next up we have Faithful. So from the interface it doesn't really look that different, but this is actually one of the most downloaded texture packs. This has had 6.7 million downloads, and last time I checked, yeah, it was the most popular one. This at the moment hasn't been updated to 1.16 that I can see, but since it is very, very popular, I imagine that they will probably update that to 1.16, so keep an eye out for that. So from just the first impression of this, I can really see why it is the most downloaded and why it is very popular. Because, well, for one, you've got different leaf textures, which I think is really cool. But just the general aesthetic of it is, it's very classical Minecraft. It's not too different, you can't tell what things are, but they have really subtle changes that really add to it. And I think if this was the default Minecraft, it would be really good. The animals, as you can see, they look like they've been very, very slightly altered, like the textures on them, like the pigs' faces and the chickens' bodies. Sheep, they seem the same, maybe a little bit more of a natural texture on them. It's very hard to see the differences, but as a whole, I think that it is a big difference. I think even the water flows differently on this one. So here I am trying to show the mobs. They are quite classically the same, only very slightly different. And then just some more blocks here you can see from the little underwater monuments. So with this texture pack, it is very obvious what things are, which I like, but again, just very slightly altered. Like the iron ore, you can tell that that's iron. You can see the difference here between the gravel and the stone, which on some you can't, or it's not as easy to. One of the main differences of the block textures that I noticed was the wooden planks. I don't know what it is about them, but I think that they look quite different from the normal vanilla, but I quite like them. They're quite nice. And you can see now the flowers, they're very, very slightly different, but again, it makes a big difference, I think. And the textures with the animals. I think this is really cool, the swampy area with the rain. I don't think the rain is usually that visible, I may be wrong, but on normal vanilla Minecraft, I think this has a bit more impact, the weather features in this texture pack. I really like the doors, the chests and the beds in this pack, and the iron golems look the same. The farming sort of things look the same, because some I did notice the seeds were different, and trying to show off the mobs here, but it didn't go too well. And last but not least, we have Jickless. I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm just guessing. But this has almost 53,000 downloads, so not as many as some of them, but that's still quite a lot. This has been updated to 1.16 as well, which I'm quite happy about because I think I will actually use this one. This is probably my favourite out of all of these that I've done in this video. This was one of the things I loved the most about this, the lily pads with the flowers. I don't know why, but I just think that's a really nice touch, and the animals are adorable. This is the best texture I've seen on the sheep, I think, like the sheep's faces, and the cows are really cool, and just the different colours of the animals. I really like the more natural wood and dirt textures as well. The giant mushrooms in the Darkwood Forest, they look really different but quite nice, and just showing some animals and some mobs here. The villagers have little outfits in this texture pack, I think they're really cute, and I love the iron golems, and they have the dark texture with the little flower, I think that's adorable as well. The interface though that you just saw when you open the chest, I'm not crazy about that. I really like that you can see the difference in the seeds. Like I said, there was some texture packs that had that on them rather than them all kind of looking really similar. I love the windows in this as well with the black pane glass. I think that's really cool. I think there should be lots more styles of windows in Minecraft. I don't really know why you can't do that already. So in this one, again, you can tell what's what, you can tell what's stone, what's iron, what's coal, and there's not really going to be any confusion there, which I like. Ignore me killing a cow. I just wanted to kind of show what some of the other things look like the food and the interface there of the furnace. I think this one, much like the Faithful one, which is the really popular one, it's quite medieval. I think they would work really well with like a medieval build or a world or something like that. And the textures of the sun and moon are different as well, as you can see here. So showing off the mobs, Enderman very slightly different. I love the spider, I think they look cool. I think the skeletons look really good as well, they're just very subtly different. And again, just showing some more textures that you would find with building and in villages. So here is a comparison of all the different texture packs compared to vanilla that I used in this video and in the same order that they appear in the video.